joined now by Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, how are we doing this morning?
Good morning. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Minnesota week, baby.
Hanging in there. I want to start with kind of what you saw in College Park with what Nebraska was able to accomplish with that football team where they're at this year. Do you think they took more positives to focus on that are portable for this week, or worked on what they overcame in terms of kind of like the proverbial backhanded compliment to dial in on what they needed to do this week?
Well, I think my answer to that changes, DB, after hearing from John Butler yesterday. That conversation was pretty honest, and the defense was inconsistent in College Park, but I think we all learned what was frustrating for the coaching staff, the fact that the pass rush wasn't good enough. And I don't know how well you need to rush the passer against Minnesota, but I think that would be the answer to the question I would have for you, is that I think that the intangible goods that Nebraska showed, like winning a game late, offense making some strides, being able to perform in the clutch, that is now outweighed more for me about, like, listen, the coaches learned some things about this team. Specifically, it's got to get better at rushing the passer.
Kevin, as you sit there, is that the biggest area of improvement you'd like to see from Nebraska on Friday, is just the pass rush?
Yeah, but I don't know that you're going to be able to gauge that against Minnesota, because this is a team that, they're not going to throw the ball 50 times in a game. So you can, in a lot of the things that Minnesota does offensively, from what I can tell, a lot of the passes are set up by play action. Like they'll try to run the ball and then move the quarterback. So, just pinning your ears back and trying to get to a dude that's on a 5-step, 7-step drop, I don't know that you're really going to be able to have a good sense of, did Nebraska make the strides they wanted from, the pass rush in this contest. I think you'll learn more about it, later in October and then into November. I think that's the bigger concern. It's not about applying it this week. It's about, can we continuously put pressure on the quarterback down the line? Especially a lot of the guys playing up front defensively, they're young, and they need to be making strides game by game.
So, Kevin, when you're looking at, and some has been made, you talked about Coach Butler's honesty and kind of being candid yesterday. Were you surprised, or maybe not, that he made, not light, but was very dismissive of the short week? He walked through the schedule, talked about roughly the 12-hour time difference. How quickly do you think we'll recalibrate what he just said when we're watching what could potentially unfold on Friday?
Well, Coach Butler went straight to, he's got NFL experience. So, giving him one less day, that is nothing. Because in the NFL, you're playing on Sunday, and sometimes you have to turn around and play on Thursday. So you want to talk about a condensed schedule, for him, it's probably like, yeah, this is no big deal. We lose one day, and we can slide things around and still be okay. And not to mention, the short week, going to Minnesota. It's not like they're flying to Washington or Oregon or Rutgers or College Park. Granted, they came back from that, but this week, the departure, you're not going – it's one of the shortest trips in the conference. So there is I align with John Butler on this, that, the shorter week, it's not as glaring and impactful for Nebraska, just because of it's just one day, and you're not going really, really far for the game on Friday.